This is another episode of On the Brain with me, your host, your friend, your neighbor. He's not Spider-Man, Caleb B. Davis. It is Friday, early morning after midnight, and you're here cooking in the stew. Talking with my stepdad recently, me and my wife were kind of picking his brain, like, what are the memories you have of your father? As you get older, like, do you see the I start turning into my dad thing? See, the thing is on that, for me, I feel like I'm turning into my grandpa, but I'll come back to that. My dad tells me and my wife, one of the things that my dad used to say to us when we were getting a little too rowdy as kids was, cool it. And he was like, and so now I've started adapting into my fatherly role. And when his kids start getting rowdy, my little brother and sister and myself, he hits us with a, hey, cool it. Or something of that nature. I'm not him, so it's not perfect. Nor am I his father. I'm just turning into my grandpa. I feel like because he told me that, and now I've been telling people, hey, cool it. And I'll throw a nice, like, pal or chill out, bucko. I like hitting people with the bucko. Bucko's fun. Bucko's good. Bucko is like my diet Dr. Fuck. When I use the bucko, when I use bucko, it's like I'm getting a good F-bomb off my chest. You know what I mean? I'm only going to call it that because I'm not sitting here with a Diet Dr. P. I did just finish another Modelo Chila de Mango y Chile. See, I was going to say I'm drinking water. I do have my water next to me, but you know that thing where whenever you just have a little too much water sitting in your cup for just a little too long, and then it starts smelling the way that the metal tastes on the inside of your bottle, and then you're like, yeah, I can't drink this anymore. I got to change that out. I'm like hypersensitive to that. I'm like all the time, just a little bit like, I can't do it. And then I have to dump it out, clean it, start fresh. And then sometimes I go a little too hard and overcorrecting. And I'm like, tastes like Dawn dish soap. So there's no good thing that comes from it, but life is a spectrum, We really made autism okay pretty quickly. And I mean, is that just became the nicer way of saying, oh yeah, he ain't right, boy ain't right. Like no one knows quite what's wrong with you, but boy ain't right, That's what I think. I think that's acceptable. I think it's okay for people to be boy ain't right. I think that's okay. I don't want my children, like it's hard to, this is a hard thing as a parent, especially when you have two at one time looking at them and then like not comparing them, And it's not like I don't know, I blame science class because it's like specimen A and specimen B, basically. And that's a weird way of saying that because I know how they collect, this. Moving on. You can't compare them. They're very different. And with them having been in the NICU for as long as they were, Lillian, she was in the NICU for 111 days. Eleanor, she was 75 days. So it was a long time. It was long. Peak of me not getting sleep in my life, those days, man, it was hard. Even just staying awake, literally not even all gas, no brakes. You know what I'm talking about? Boy ain't right. Chill out, bucko. That's what I'm telling you. This is callbacks, honestly. I've started getting really good at these. Like just in the way that I talk with people on a daily basis. Like my like one of my coworkers, and I'm not even going to specify who, will start the most random conversations with me before they'll say hello. I don't know how to function when you start in the middle of a conversation with me and I don't even know if your day's okay or not okay. And I don't even care if it's okay or bad. I just kind of need I need to know what kind of footing I need to be on, and if you're going to ask me an out-of-pocket question, you're going to get an out-of-pocket response, okay? Especially knowing me, I've been a lot better about it recently. I'm making it on time to work, like on time, like a little early on time, and I've been doing really good at it. If I get in and I haven't set my computer up yet or like gotten online and you're like, did you know Fago started discontinuing some of their flavors because of, and it's like, It's never like, okay, it's not always like something that involves having read like Science Network magazine or anything, but I don't even have an example right now. It's just been catching me off guard, bro. I don't even, I think I think I make about as much as I'm worth, is what I'll say. I'm not going to say I don't think I make enough because I would love to have more money, but that's not what this is. This is me. Yeah, no, this is fair. You know, that's my job right now. My job pays me fair. They pay me my weight in salt, you know, and that's about all my diets have consisted of. I'm kind of embellishing here too, because like I already know the wrong people are going to start texting me like, bro, you need to start walking, or like some really baseline exercise like, hey, you need to start flexing your wrists at your desk or else this calcium buildup's going to be gnarly. My friends are strange, man. Like I love my friends. I do because they've just always been there for me and like they know that I don't really reach out to people. I like kind of being on my own, right? And I'm just loving that I get to work my smooth brain and try to have these podcast episodes put together because I mean there's been so much time now is what it feels like from the first time I started recording these episodes versus when they actually came out and when people started listening to them and giving me feedback. And this show's been shared with strangers now, which is great. Like people around me, friends, coworkers, family members, you know, they're enjoying listening to at least some of these episodes, if not all of them. I don't expect every one of you to be like, "Oh, I listen every single. They're all so good." That's not true. There's got to be some bad ones and we're still just moving on and having fun. Lillian's literally just squirming in her swing right now, just like readjusting, and she's farting comically loud, dude. I'm telling you, these twin little girls have some adult fucking farts. Like I don't even know. I don't even have farts that sound like, oh wow, that was a crazy sounding fart. But these little girls are just like fart sound boxes. Like they're just constantly the funniest farts. And yeah, I get to talk about that here. I hope that when they listen back to this, they're like, oh my God. And I hope it's right at the time they're in a new relationship where like, oh no, I don't fart, you know? No, like once I did like crazy shit. Like, yeah, oh yeah, she's farted once. Dude, that's not good for a man. That's not good for a dude. Assumptions are being made here in this scenario. Yes, I'm going to admit that, but assuming it's a guy and you as a lady tell him when you farted in front of him or when that girl's dad is talking about her farting and then if they're like lying about it and they're like, yeah, I mean like I farted once. There are some guys that'll literally Google when they go home like what do girls fart like maybe once every I don't know, Jupiter in retrograde? Like help me out here. That's not good. And then those people could go play a contact sport like football and end up with CTE, and then their favorite color is Lego. You know, like it's that just hats off to Brock. You know, the guy who his favorite color's Lego. Brock, the Lego colored athlete, I guess. But yes, I mean, if you haven't noticed already, we do have a rowdy Lily Bean in her swing over here where she's grunting and growling. I think she's spending a little too much time with the dog, but that's just because all of their activities take place on the floor. So it's kind of hard not to, but she's biting. She's got parvo. No, I'm just joking. That's not funny. I don't know if babies having parvo might be funny. Maybe. Nah. Parvo Baby. That's my new punk rock band name. This is Parvo Baby, and you're about to listen to a song called Mescaline. I mean, does anyone have any mescaline? That's how my brain works. I say things like that all the time. I play a game where I come up with like what I think the funniest fake punk rock band name would be. Like I thought Nicotine Pop Rock would be a pretty cool band name for like a now coming next to the stage, Nicotine Pop Rock. I feel like that'd be a banger concert. There'd definitely be some moshing there. I'm not a fan of that, to be honest with you. I don't like when people touch me. But Nicotine Pop Rock, I thought Flat Top Rocket was a good one. I have so many of these and I'm not proud of it. I think you should play this game also. Anytime you say anything that sounds like something that shouldn't have been put front to back in a word put together, a sentence, I guess, or a phrase, make it a punk rock band name. And enjoy it. Keep doing it. There's some other ones too. Um, I was just trying to think of one. I was like, yeah, alkaline seltzer might be a good one, but I feel like that's just a drink or a medicine, and probably both. Alcohol's the best remedy for everything. All in all, man, I'm having so much fun recording these, putting these out, just rambling, having guests on, doing prank calls, just literally it's anything and everything on the brain. We're talking about everything. We're having a lot of fun. On the Brain is a community of people. Anyone who's willing to listen to this, thank you. Whether it's you're just checking it out, if you're the stranger that was recently given any type of marketing ploy where it's like, check this out, and if you're giving me a shot, if you've listened since the release of the first episode, which is no one, because I put it out a couple days before I started telling anyone it existed. And we're kind of peeling the layers back as more episodes come out. On the Brain is a community. I'm happy that you're even visiting or taking part in it in any kind of way. I chose this podcast name because my grandfather, he would always call me, or when I would call him and we would talk on the phone, he'd always ask me, "What's up, buddy? What's on the brain?" And I would just talk to him about anything, and that's what we're looking for here. We're just looking to kind of ramble and to house the people we love and to live on another day. That's the whole point. You find the people that you love and you just try to enjoy spending every day that you can with them for the most part. And that's the community that we have here. We've got supportive people amongst us. There's a lot of people who, I never even really quite believe in myself that I could do something like this, put something out. This will probably come out on, I don't know, I would have to say next Thursday. So like the 5th of March, right? I hope you all enjoyed the episode before this with Shiva. I love Shiva. Him and his comedy. I've worked with him, I think it was only once, but I've seen him a few times prior to that, and I think he's great. We've got a lot of awesome things cooking. After Shiva, there's a few other friends and comedians that I've already spoken with about having them on that they've agreed to. I don't quite know what the full timing is on all of these things, but I know Ryan Perrio is going to be on. Him and I have a very similar relationship as what Shiva and I had, where I've seen him a handful of times, Ryan quite a few more times than Shiva. I enjoy Ryan Perrio quite a bit, and I know that's going to be a fun episode. I'm going to have Joe Manning on. There's more people. I've got, like I said, friends like Jeremy will be joining us. He falls into a demographic of both comic and friend. And then my buddy Dominic will be joining me at some point in time as well in the future. Yeah, we've got a lot cooking here, and I hope y'all are going to enjoy it. I'm going to have more comics on. I'm going to have more prank calls with Austin. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. If there's 5 people out there who listen consistently enough and enjoy it the same and share it from time to time with their mutual friends and whatnot, I really hope that there's an audience here who sticks around and follows and enjoys. And if not, I have my daughters that they'll get to listen back to this one day, and I'm excited. Thank you again for joining me here on another episode of On the Brain. I have been your host. My name is Caleb B. Davis. If you're not already following on Instagram, follow at On the Brain Pod. I'm your host. You're welcome to follow at FunnyCBD on Instagram's really all I use now.